Every town has that one house everyone notices. In Maple Ridge, it was the old white house with the red mailbox, and the elderly woman who checked it every morning, rain or shine. Her name was Eleanor Ward. For 12 years, at exactly 8:12 a.m., she'd stand there, hopeful. Neighbors whispered, assuming she was waiting for bills or catalogs. But the truth was heavier. She was waiting for a letter from her only son, a letter that never came. One morning, the young mailman, Jake, approached her. "No letter today, Mrs. Ward," he said gently. She just smiled. "That's all right, dear. Good things take time." He finally had to ask why she never gave up. She looked at the sky and whispered, "Because the day you stop believing is the day you stop living." But one cold winter evening, her faith was tested like never before. A soft knock at the door revealed a young woman. "Mrs. Ward? My name is Anna. I knew your son." For 12 years, Eleanor Ward had lived a life of quiet waiting. Every morning, she walked to her mailbox, her heart a tangled knot of hope and dread. Each day, she searched for a letter from her son, Michael, a son she hadn't seen since the day his father died. And every day, the mailbox was empty, leaving her with the familiar ache of absence. She had no idea why he had vanished, why the silence between them had stretched into a decade-long chasm. All she knew was the emptiness he left behind. Then one crispy autumn afternoon, a car pulled up to her house. It wasn't the mailman. A young woman stepped out, her expression a mix of nervousness and determination. "Mrs. Ward?" she asked. "My name is Anna. I'm Michael's wife." Eleanor's world tilted on its axis. Michael was married. He had a life, a family that she knew nothing about. She invited Anna inside, her hands trembling as she poured tea. The questions she had held in her heart for 12 years finally tumbled out. Anna's story unraveled a misunderstanding that had poisoned their family. "Michael carries so much guilt," Anna explained softly. She described the chaos at the hospital after his father's passing. Paperwork, sent in error, had made it seem like Eleanor had made the decision to end life support without waiting for her son to arrive. "He never recovered from that," Anna said. "He shut everything out, including you." Eleanor pressed a hand to her mouth. A sob caught in her throat. "That's not how it happened," she whispered. "I begged them for more time. They told me he was already gone." "I know," Anna said. Her eyes filled with sympathy, but Michael wouldn't listen. He couldn't bear to reopen that wound. Then Anna reached into her bag and pulled out a small, folded paper covered in messy crayon lines. "My daughter drew this for you," she said, her voice gentle. "Her name is Lily. She's your granddaughter." Eleanor's breath hitched. She unfolded the drawing. It was a picture of an old woman and a little girl holding hands. Underneath, in a child's shaky handwriting, were the words, "Dear Grandma, can I meet you?" Tears streamed down Eleanor's face. Not for the years of pain, but for the sudden, overwhelming bloom of hope. Anna took her hand. "Mrs. Ward, Michael thinks you hate him." "Hate him?" Eleanor whispered, shaking her head fiercely. "He's my boy. I could never hate him." Anna squeezed her hand. "Then you have to tell him." That night, Eleanor understood. Sometimes, the people we love come back because they believe they've lost their place in our hearts. Sometimes, they need us to show them the door is still open. The next morning, Eleanor walked to a desk with a newfound purpose. For 12 long years, she had waited. Now, it was her turn to act. She poured her heart onto the paper, all the unspoken words, the forgiveness, the love she had kept locked away. She wrote, "Son, I never stopped waiting for you. I will never stop waiting for you, but you don't have to carry this alone anymore. Come home." If not for me, then for the little girl who deserves to know her grandmother. She mailed the letter that same day. And then she waited again. But this time, it was a different kind of waiting. It wasn't filled with dread, but with a quiet, steady hope. A week passed, then 2, then 3. Her mailman, Jake, would ask, "Anything yet?" Eleanor, and she would just smile and say, "One day." She knew that some wounds take time to heal, but for the first time in a very long time, she believed that healing was finally on its way. What do you think happened next? Let me know in the comments. One day, it finally happened. Jake, the mailman, walked up to Eleanor's porch, not with the usual bills and junk mail, but with something different. It was a white envelope, its edges worn from a long journey. The handwriting on it made Eleanor's heart leap with a hope she had undared to feel for years. Jake's voice was soft as he handed it to her. "Mrs. Ward," he said gently, "I think this is the one." Her hand shook as she tore it open. The words inside were simple, but they carried the weight of a decade of silence. "Mom, I'm sorry for the years I lost. I'm sorry for what I believed. Anna told me everything. If you'll have me, I want to come home. Love, Michael." Eleanor pressed the letter to her chest, and the tears that fell were not the familiar tears of a broken heart, but the cleansing tears of a healed one. Just 3 days later, a car pulled into her driveway. A man stepped out. He was older, his face etched with the lines of a hard life, but it was unmistakably him. It was her son. Michael walked toward her slowly, his eyes filled with a mixture of regret and hope. "Mom," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I'm sorry." Eleanor didn't hesitate. She reached up, took his face in her hands, and kissed his forehead, a gesture of unconditional love. "We've wasted enough time, my boy," she said, her own voice steady. "Let's start again." Just then, a little girl with bright eyes and a smile that could light up the world ran from the car, her arms outstretched. "Grandma!" she shouted with pure joy. Eleanor dropped to her knees and hugged the child tight. This granddaughter she was meeting for the very first time, and in that powerful embrace, she felt something she thought she had lost forever. A life that still had purpose, a heart that still had room to love, and a future that was once again filled with hope. That evening, after the happy chaos of reunion settled, and the house was filled with the sounds of laughter and warmth once more, Eleanor found herself drawn back to the porch. She stood there, looking at the little red mailbox that had been her silent companion through all the lonely years. She whispered into the quiet night, "I waited 12 years for a letter, but what I received was a new life." This story reminds us of a powerful truth. It is never too late. It's never too late to forgive someone who has hurt you. It's never too late to reach out to someone you've lost touch with. And it is never, ever too late to rebuild what life has broken. Waiting with hope is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to the strength of your belief. You only truly lose when you give up on the possibility of a better tomorrow. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that inspires hope. We'll see you in the next video.